What's up guys, you're watching India Today Tech. I'm Rahul Sethi and in this video I'm going to tell you my thoughts on the Galaxy M10. I had done a very detailed unboxing, so you might want to check out the link to take a look at what are the constituents of the box. But in this video I'll tell you what are the pros and cons of various aspects of this device. So let's get started. First, let's talk about the design part. The design is very nice on the Galaxy M10. Up front you get a very good screen to body ratio. They are quite thin bezels and you get a water drop style notch. At 7990, the Galaxy M10 is quite an inexpensive phone to have this kind of design. There are few good things, like you get a triple slot to expand the storage, so if you are going for the base variant, you will be able to add micro SD card and expand the storage. Next, the buttons are very tactile and have a very good feedback, and you also get a headphone jack. Overall, if you talk about the build quality as well, it's also very nice. The form factor is quite slim. It's quite commendable for Samsung to bring out a very ergonomic big screen device in this form factor. But now let's talk about the cons of the design part. You don't get a fingerprint scanner at the back, so that is one of the major drawbacks of this device. Also, you don't get fast charging or Type-C USB port that you get on the M20, but since the price is low, I would not really count it as a very big disappointment. Although you get a 3.5mm headphone jack, you don't get earphones inside the box, which some of the companies are bundling right now. Also, the speakers are placed at the back, so when you place the phone on the table, the sound gets muffled. So it's not really a very good placement. Although this time around Samsung has included an auto brightness sensor on this device, the notification LED is missing. So if you receive any notifications or have put the phone to charging, you won't see any charging light or light that tells you you have received notifications. But what makes the M20 quite beautiful is its display. It's a 720p panel, so resolution is not that high, but the quality of the panel is quite nice. The brightness levels are quite sufficient for outdoor use, and you'll see the colors are quite deep and make the display look very vivid. The viewing angles are also quite nice, but there is a slight color shift when you view the display at an angle, although this is something that you may find in many of the smartphones. Now if you talk about the touch screen, it's not as smooth as what you would expect of a Samsung phone, and we were quite surprised. Although it does not use a Corning glass, many phones from Samsung like the On series or the J series had quite a smooth touch screen. But we were not very impressed with the M10. It's not bad at all, but it's not very premium either. Now talking about the software experience, you get the Experience UI 9.5 over Android 8.1 Oreo, and this is again a mixed bag. I mean, the interface is quite refined, and that I said in my M20 review as well, you get a lot of features and it's quite optimized for a phone like this. Samsung uses the same interface in its flagship grade smartphones. I mean, they used to have it after Samsung rolled out the One UI, but then again, this is the most premium software experience Samsung can provide. Thing is, the under the hood hardware is not very powerful to pull off heavy applications. So you'll see light applications run fine. They have good loading speed. They have very nice animation, which is quite fast. And overall, the interface in general usage, like if you're using WhatsApp or browsing the internet, it's quite nice. But if you begin using it heavily or use some heavy applications, you'll see the signs of stutter and lag. Like if you're running 5-6 tabs in Chrome, you'll see there's a slight stutter when you are trying to shift between tabs or trying to scroll the screen. And this stutter is visible throughout while you are switching between applications. Another aspect to it is gaming on this smartphone is not that great. Although we could run Asphalt 9 and PUBG, and Asphalt 9 would run quite well. PUBG would run in low graphic settings and you will be able to play the game, but it's not a very smooth experience. So overall, the hardware is a limitation on M10, and if you're looking to buy a very smooth Android phone, the M10 may not fit your criteria. It's good for light usage or using daily apps like WhatsApp, Instagram or Facebook, but don't expect it to heavily multitask or run heavy applications without giving you a hard time. So the M10 does not get the same battery as the M20. It has a 3400 mAh capacity and takes about 3 hours to charge on its 5-watt adapter, since there is no fast charging. But if you talk about the backup, it's quite good. Because the display resolution is 720p or HD, you do get very similar screen on time. For daily usage of surfing the internet or using WhatsApp, the phone can return easily about 1.5 days, which is not bad at all for this battery capacity. Now if you talk about the cameras, there's a 30 megapixel primary sensor and a 5 megapixel wide angle sensor. This is a similar setup as the M20 and the quality is quite nice for the price. You get bright and sharp images that look quite nice, they are clean, and their color reproduction is also quite close to the accurate scene. So the camera captures quite usable shots. We compared the camera with the Asus Zenfone Max Pro M2 and we found that the M10 is quite capable. Especially the wide angle lens, it adds a kind of a variety to the shots you can take. It does give you a fisheye effect that distorts the photo throughout the frame, but still a nice addition to have. And that is because the portrait shots that it can take using the single camera are not bad at all. So it doesn't really need a depth sensor, and Samsung was quite intelligent to replace it with a wide angle camera. If you talk about the front camera, it has a 5 megapixel resolution and we were really not impressed. If you're able to find good light, the camera will do wonderfully, but in low light situations or in tricky lighting, the camera is not able to perform well. And that is understandable because the resolution is not very high. But what I did not like is the front camera's tendency to soften the face. It gives the selfie a ghost-like effect without the beauty mode turned on. So the M20 is quite a nice phone from Samsung at 7990, and like the M20, it offers you great value for money. For a Samsung phone, this is quite unheard of, but the Galaxy M10 manages to achieve that. There's just one major hiccup that you may be worried about, and that is the performance. Going further, 6 months down the line, this phone may even get slower. And that can be the only major reason for not selecting the M10. Apart from small things like not having a gyroscope sensor or a fingerprint sensor at the back side. And so, you can look for smartphones like the Zenfone Max Pro M1 or the Redmi Y2 that are, although older generation smartphones, give you much better hardware under the hood and better performance. Let me know your thoughts on the Galaxy M10 in the comment section below, and also let me know which phone you would select under 10,000 rupees if not the M10. If you like this video, hit the thumbs up button and share it with your friends. Subscribe to our channel to get latest videos on technology, smartphones and other gadgets like this. Thank you for watching.